So there's been reports about Mike McCarthy is fed up with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization. Honestly, it is music to my ears because if you really been following the Cowboys and you know how they go, everyone is pretty much a puppet. Everyone is keeping a hush hush. No one ever wants to say what's truly true. And whenever things start to leak out from a source, it's always when somebody who's left the organization. And in this information is coming from somebody who left the organization but has some ties still within, who's currently on Mike McCarthy's staff. But just talking about Mike McCarthy's staff, just his status of being, fed up. Imagine you're being hired for a job. Okay, you come to the job. During the job, they're gonna hire someone for you to work with that is a direct competitor with you. So he's a threat to take your job. You have to work with this guy every day. Every day. You also have to. You can't pick your entire new staff. The job you get hired to, the normal thing is you get to pick the O coordinator, you get to pick the D coordinator. No, only person you can pretty much bring is a little bit of your staff. You can bring McClay. And you're forced to work with a O coordinator in philosophy you have hourly spoken about in the past on how you're not familiar with his scheme and you're not a fan of it, but they keep the guy on the roster for 2 years. You have to work with a guy who's actively trying to take your job or trying to look for a job that's on the same level as you. And he's clearly not for the team because he's multiple seasons now. He went out and he tried to get a job the first time. He didn't get a job. He came back. And then the second time, even after this embarrassing loss, he almost didn't get that job. And they was going to welcome him back with open arms. Imagine that being your work experience as a head coach. That's the dysfunction within the Cowboys organization. This is the cancer of politics coming and ruining football. I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about this subject because even when I played football, I hated those trust fund kids, those the board member kids, the kid who's on a team who's getting the playtime, who don't deserve the playtime, but because his daddy got the money in the pocket, who controls everything, or he makes all the decisions, he gets the playtime. That's what messes me up. And I've been a victim of this countless times in my life at every level. It costs games, it costs championships, it costs countless amounts of effects on a team because we're being undermined by someone who's not with the day-to-day grind every day. That's what the Cowboys' problem is. It's been a problem since we last won our Super Bowl. So we drove away the great Jimmy Johnson. It's been our problem every single year. We got owners coming and determining playtime. We got owners coming and undermining the coach's decision, splitting the locker room in half. How is that going to create a winning culture? Going on the national airways saying one message and then portraying another behind the scenes. Constantly, taking stuff from up under them, whether it be a player, if they want players, not getting those players, not getting necessary help in positions to further the scheme. It's annoying. It's such an annoying. I can only imagine what Mike McCarthy is going through. Even when Dan Quinn was here, when he wanted Bobby Wagner, and they didn't get Bobby Wagner, and then they also got rid of the linebacker we had on staff. That the rare linebacker we had that's over 250 pounds, even after we lost Leighton Vander Esch, because it was too expensive. $2 million too expensive. Playing Zeke. Getting Zeke back. I love Zeke to death. But this year, I believe that the moment they found out they can get Zeke back, that changed their whole draft board of drafting a dire need, which is the running back position. Stuff like this coming and affecting the X's and O's. It pisses me off because it's hindering us. We're never going to win anything with them leading. There's a reason for that. Even with the Jones family even having enough football knowledge adequacy, I would still be against it. I don't like when the Texans gave I'm blanking on the head coach's name, when they gave him head coaching and GM powers. You don't do that. You don't give too much. Like, there's a reason why the GM position is the GM position and the head coach is the head coaching position. And they're supposed to be in working synergy. Because you have situations like you need to be on the same page. I can only imagine. I heard reports today, or not reports, but how the Mozzie Smith pick still pisses a lot of people off in that building to this day. Apparently, that's not even the guy that McCarthy wanted, and it wasn't even a guy that Dan Quinn wanted. It was a guy that they wanted, and they just wanted to draft. Because they can do that. Y'all have the power, and they think they just know more than everyone else when they don't. This is the dysfunction of the Cowboys organization. But I got fans telling me that the failure of the Cowboys is Dak's fault. The culture of the organization is on the players. When every day, like, the big problems are, I know it's handled day to day. When Dalton Schultz say we're like a zoo, and people would just come in and it's like one-way mirror, they can see us, they see them work out, stuff like that, like how they treat everything, like it's just on display. It's just little things like that. And I know Mike McCarthy wouldn't agree to that. He can't really coach like he really want to coach. But they got a lame duck season coach, lame duck season quarterback, but they want to push narrative saying how these guys are terrible because they didn't pay him. They didn't want to give him the adequate help. Saying they're going all in and didn't make a single freaking move this offseason. Sat on their hands and working Will McClay day and night, and he's just coming back with scraps from the UFL, XFL, whatever, but just trying to find the star in the rough that can help this team this upcoming year. But yet you want to give him you want him to get you to the Super Bowl with rookies, with second-year guys. Like, I'm sorry. I can't argue with people who literally blame this on Dak. The roster construction, the roster management has been horrible from the get-go. And they just do things that are not of the typical organization. Undermining the coach countless times. Like, not being on the same page. This is cancerous. This is the reason why we don't win. It is not Dak's fault. It is the Jones family fault. I'm letting you know, it is the Jones everything. Even the things that happen on the field, I can tie it back to the Jones family. Somehow, some type of way. And when Cowboys fans, when you finally realize it, you'll see the truth. Until next time, man. Peace.